Hey guys, we're back with another video. I'm talking about One Piece chapter 1181. In One Piece chapter 1181, we saw Emu do something he's never done before. He ended up turning the sword that looks like Edward Newgate's sword that he also has, and he ended up changing the sword into a sword that looks like Yoru, which is like Mihawk's sword, and his sword was Nemesis. But it's just, he confirmed something that we've been wanting to know for the longest time, the black blade theory. How is a black blade made, and how can it be created? The theory of the black blade is that the black blade is made when you use Maki and you use Haki and you probably integrate it into a base weapon. The fact that Emu was able to basically make a sword that looks like Yoru already confirms that maybe Mihawk was Mihawk was a trainee, Mihawk was a intern, Mihawk knows somebody on the God's Knights. Mihawk has some history with Emu, maybe not Emu, but someone of that era. But the theory with the black blade theory is that in order to make a black blade, you need Maki, Haki, and a base weapon. A supreme grade sword is the best tool for the job. So for example, Enma would be a perfect black blade by default. The Wado Ichimonji, I don't know if it's a supreme grade, but the Wado Ichimonji is not a normal sword, so that sword is also good too. Anything. Like, also we know Ryuma became a black blade. How did Ryuma become a black blade? We still don't know that. People say battle spirit. It can't just be battle spirit. I believe that the theory with the black blade, it is kind of like a Soul Reaper and the Asauchi. If you know anything about Bleach, it's always stemming back to Bleach. But in Bleach, the Asauchi is basically like basically a plain spirit, blank spirit. You fill that spirit with your soul, your memories, and your power. And then eventually it forms a Zanpakuto. The Zanpakuto is your spiritual representation of your Soul Reaper ability, and it is a personification of your powers, all integrated into your Asauchi, which is your Zanpakuto now. Your Zanpakuto can also become a Bunkai. When your Zanpakuto, aka your Asauchi, enters the real world, or basically you're able to make it alive, then you get your Bunkai. So imagine the Asauchi being the base item, and as soon as you reach your Bunkai, which is basically when your Maki, your soul, and your Haki integrates into your supreme grade weapon or just a blank template item, it equals a black blade. Because the Marines in the Marine Fork arc, they coated their katanas with Haki, but only coated it with armament Haki. They didn't integrate it really into the sword. Because we have people like Virgo. We have people who, Virgo, he literally uses like the best version of armament Haki you could use. But he still wouldn't be able to integrate his Haki into a weapon and have it a black blade or have it a black tool. We see people like Joy Boy who integrates their Haki into an item and literally can release it all. So if that's possible, imagine basically coding, baking, and integrating it and forging it into the blade and into the tool. So Mihawk may not be a fraud. He may just be teaching us something we never knew, because think of it like with Rayleigh. When in the Sabaody Archipelago, we never knew about Ryuo until we learned about Wano. We didn't know that Rayleigh used Ryuo to release the cuffs off the prisoners and off the people who were in the auction house until Luffy showed us in Wano. So this is just something we just haven't learned yet. And the fact that Emu confirmed how black blades are created confirms everything. You could say, oh, Emu's black blade is just an intangible object. It's just a construct. I mean, we've seen it before and we'll see it again. People with Haki are able to do crazy things and crazy feats, but that does not explain what Emu did. Emu used Maki and did something else. Because Sun God Nika, aka Luffy, he used his fruit, and he was able to make like hats and bats and all these other tools. But we've never seen something like this because this was a named item, meaning Emu has used this tool multiple times. It's an intangible tool, meaning it's not really physical. Maybe he has a physical version, but maybe it's confirmed that Emu made Neok's sword. We don't know. Maybe Emu made this sword with more Maki, Haki, a soul, a contract, and everything. There's more to the story. And especially what we know in Enma. Enma is alive. It's a live blade. That's why it drains Zoro's Haki. If it could take all Zoro's Haki and Zoro could overwhelm it with some Maki, he could probably make it a black blade easy. Because we still cannot explain Ryuma's sword being a black blade. We still have to explain that.